Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is KidLot404, where you're watching some Call of Duty Black Ops 2 on the Nintendo Wii U, this time continuing the Drone Storm series with the Executioner pistol. And you know, the Executioner is a cool weapon. It looks cool, it has a great name, it has a scary name, right? It's supposed to be the Executioner of all pistols in this game. Yet, besides the coolness factor of the weapon, you know, it pales in comparison to the other pistols in this game. And if you watch my other commentary on the 5.7, that's where I kind of gave you a brief history on the pistols in Call of Duty. And in that commentary, I basically said that, you know, the pistols in the previous Call of Duties, they were usually a 3-bullet kill. But now in Black Ops 2, they've been changed a little bit, so now they're usually a 2-bullet kill, you know, with the TAC-45 and the 5.7. Those pistols, those semi-automatic pistols, are now 2-bullet kills, and of course, you know, with the advent of the CAP-40 and the B-23R, those are also really viable pistols to use as well. So in general, you know, the pistols have gotten a lot better in Black Ops 2. They've received a facelift, you know, over the previous Call of Duties in the series. And so that kind of brings up now to the Executioner. And like I said, besides the coolness factor of the Executioner, this pistol doesn't have a lot to offer to its user. It's actually more of a hindrance than actual helpful, you know, when trying to take out opponents. And I guess I can go through a laundry list of why this pistol sucks. You guys probably know it already, but you know, nevertheless, I'll just go through them right now. And the first thing to me in my mind is the capacity. It's like the first noticeable thing. And when you look at the Executioner, you'll notice that it only has 5 shots to it, and you know, you're thinking, what can you do with 5 shots? Why would the developers only give you 5 shots on a pistol? You know, when you see a Magnum pistol in Call of Duty, you would think that it would have 6 bullets. That would be the standard, right? You see the 357 Magnum and the 44 Magnum; those always, you know, had 6 bullets. So I don't know the reasoning behind taking out a bullet and just making it that much worse for the Executioner in Black Ops 2. I really don't know the reasoning behind that. But like I said, just if you want to, you know, look at the negativities of this weapon, that's one thing. It's the capacity. What can you do with 5 shots? Tell me, what can you do with 5 shots on the Executioner? It's not really much, you know, not really, you know, game changing in my opinion. So that's one aspect. Another aspect is the notion that they don't give you built-in speed reloader, so you have to waste a point on speed reloader, because I think it's essential, you know, slowly reloading this gun, one pellet after another pellet. It takes a long time, and you know, when you're reloading that slow, it makes you vulnerable to get shot really easily. So it's almost mandatory, you know, if you even want to be viable with this weapon, it's almost mandatory to have your speed reloader with you. And by that point, you know, using 2 points, you know, putting 1 point to using the Executioner and 1 point to using the speed reloader, you might as well use those 2 points to slap on Overkill and slap on an SMG or slap on a Remington or a shotgun, you know what I mean? You're better off with those guns than this pistol. And you know, like I said, with the Overkill attachment option or the Overkill wildcard option, you're better off using that than using this pistol. So I don't understand why this pistol, you know, there's no good things pretty much to use with this pistol. And like I said, I can go on and on. The range is bad. I don't know also why this gun uses shotgun pellets. I don't know what the thinking is. I never, you know, would conceive a pistol, of all things, a pistol shooting off shotgun pellets. So even that sort of thing is weird to me. So, you know, basically in general, with all these bad things packaged into one gun, you know, in my opinion, I really don't know any sort of viable reason to use the, you know, the Executioner in this game. And if, in my opinion, you know, it kind of feels like the Executioner is missing an identity, some sort of identity in the Call of Duty Black Ops 2 game. You know, usually in the previous Call of Duties, when you have a Magnum or even the Deagle, those were like the premier pistols to use because they were really powerful. They were the power pistols in those games, yeah. So there were 2-bullet kills, right? That's like the big thing about power pistols, is that they were usually 2-bullet kills now. But the funny thing in Black Ops 2 is that the, you know, the TAC-45 and the 5.7, they're already 2-bullet kills. So by that definition, they're already power pistols. And when you have power pistols in the game and you have this Magnum that's supposed to be a power pistol, you would think it's a power pistol, and it's not. It's this like shotgun shooting low range pistol. Like, what identity is that? Like, what is the identity of the Executioner in this game? If you can't use it as a pistol, if it's not viable, if you'd rather, you know, put on Overkill, I don't understand, or I don't see any reason whatsoever. And this is very rare, you know. I look in the goodness of guns, you know. I try to use guns to, you know, for what they are and what they can bring to the table. but honestly, it seems that this pistol is just overshadowed by all the other stuff in the game, and that's really unfortunate. And also too, that's kind of evident that the pistol is not that good, because, you know, you've seen patches already with the developers actually having to patch the pistol to make the range and the damage a little bit better, but even after that, the gun still sucks. So I don't know, it's kind of sucks for this gun. It's not that good, unfortunately, and I can't recommend, like the other guns in the game, I can't even recommend, you know, to use this pistol at all, just because it's that bad. So that's what it is. And also too, another thing to validate that is the fact that it was really hard for me to get this gameplay, you know what I mean? I had to stick on a silencer, I had to play like a ninja, I had to play really defensively, I had to rely on my, you know, kill streaks on my lodestar to get this gameplay for you. So it was a lot harder for me naturally, you know, than naturally using another gun to get a drone swarm with that gun, you know what I mean? It's really hard to get a drone swarm pretty much with this executioner. I really had to change my playstyle. So there it is though, I got it for you anyway. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and like I said guys, maybe you can comment below, why would you use the executioner in the first place? Peace. Thanks for watching everybody. If you would, please like and favorite the video as it helps my YouTube channel grow. You can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and finally you can click on the annotations on screen to watch more videos of mine. Thank you very much for supporting me, KidLoud404, and the Nintendo Wii U.